Franchise Kid late March knife clinic. Let's see the knives that I've got out here that I'm working with today. Moving from left to right, the SOG Seal Pup. Not a new knife to me, but a new knife that I'm going to be doing a little bit of review on. The Cheaper Than Dirt rough use knife. That's right, $10 offering. This is the Bowie style Cheaper Than Dirt rough use knife. You can see I've used it a little bit and it's performed very well. There is the BK2 from Ka-Bar, the Becker Companion, riding the new scales. Beautiful, beautiful new micarta handles from Rocky National. Beautiful micarta handles. I love these. Really adds a nice look, nice contrast to the knife. Very comfortable. Fit and finish on them is perfect. Just great. Check out, I'll do a little mini tabletop review on those handles, and you'll see them with the new bolts going through the new stainless steel ones. So just wanted to show you guys that. I'm not sure if I'm going to work with this knife or not, but just wanted to show you guys the new shoes on the BK2. Isn't she purty? And the Mora, I can't remember what, I know this is a Triflex model, 781 maybe, but we'll put this one through a little bit of work and do a little bit of a comparison to the much more expensive SOG Field Pup. Not all that expensive, about, I don't know, 35 bucks call it. That's about 15, but we'll see if it's worth it. And the continued testing of the beautiful Bark River Bravo 1. Love this knife so far. Love it. Check the tabletop review coming soon on this beautiful, beautiful knife as well. So let's get to work. Got a lot of work to do. Want to test out that Cheaper Than Dirt rough use knife and see how it performs. Be right back. Thanks for coming along, guys. Franchise Kid. Alright, Cheaper Than Dirt rough use knife, Bowie style. Just put a quick touch up on the edge, and let's get to work on a piece of oak that's about 3 inches in diameter. So let's go ahead and do some chopping with it. Now I have used this knife before to do essentially the same task that I'm doing now, as well as some batoning, and I'll go ahead and do that as well with it. But you can see that it, you know, for a $10 knife, thing does okay. It feels pretty tight right now. There's no rattle. Feels pretty good in hand. The balance is probably a little bit weighted more towards the handle. As you can see, it's not a very thick blade, and I'll do a separate tabletop on this, so I'll give you guys all the specs on the knife, but wanted to show it to you guys in use in the field. Decent so far in this test and in the other test that I did with the camera before this one. That was just terrible. So the footage came out terrible, but this is not the first time I've used this knife. And there you go, little chopping demo with the Cheaper Than Dirt on a pretty solid piece of oak here. Certainly wet on the outside, but pretty good test for the Cheaper Than Dirt. You can see I was hitting it about as hard as I could hit it, and held up all right. You know, does it hold up over time? You know, that certainly is yet to be seen, but no edge damage. I've no doubt that this is 440A steel. I think somebody confirmed that before online. Again, in my tabletop, I'll give you guys all the specs, but let's put it to some more use. And this is certainly a test that I would expect it to pass. This is not tough baton work for a knife. Handle feels pretty good so far. I'm not using the leather gloves on purpose because I want to feel how this rubberized handle absorbs the shock. So far so good, but everybody's experience will differ a little bit depending on the wood. Mostly depending on the wood, depending on the conditions, how cold it is. By the way, it's a beautiful day here, which is obviously pertinent to the testing of knives. It's probably about, boy, I would guess about 50 degrees. When that wind comes through, it's a northeast wind, chills it out quite a bit. I've got pretty damp conditions. We've had a couple days of rain here, which seems to be the theme this spring where I am, maybe where you guys are too. But so far so good with the Cheaper Than Dirt. And I will fully admit that I'm not the best, I'm getting better though, not the best edge sharpener, not the best steel sharpener. So you guys out there that can put a nice edge on steel, I have no doubt that this won't hold the edge for very long, just knowing the 440 steel. But if you can put a nice edge on this, and maybe you can reprofile it in your shop or something like that, this might not be a bad pickup for 10 bucks. Take about 10 minutes. Back that relief cut up a little bit. It's not a full flat grind, as you guys can see, so back that relief cut up a little bit and I think it'll do just that much better. I think in my experience, and probably in other people's as well, the geometry of the edge coupled with a little bit of the steel will determine really how sharp a blade is and how well it cuts and chops. I'm finding that geometry is really everything with a blade. Let's see.